Do you like Disney movies?
Yes.
What is your favorite Disney movie?
Finding Nemo.
Do you think that women are portrayed equally as men in Disney movies?
No.
Why do you think that?
Because in a lot of Disney movies, the moms are dead and the princesses seem to get involved.
What's your guys' favorite Disney movie?
The Incredibles.
The Incredibles. That's not a Disney movie.
It isn't?
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not.
Do you think Disney is sexist?
Yes.
Yes.
Why?
Because the princess is always in trouble.
So are you a fan of Disney movies?
You bet.
Do you ever think that in these movies you grew up watching that there are hints of sexism or racism?
I think early on, and it's just a generational type thing, I think women were portrayed differently back in my day, and I'm a baby of the 50s. So it's different now, but I think they're working to change that. I think in the new movies like Frozen, for instance, they're portraying women as being stronger and not the weak females from in the past.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
What is the first word you think of when you think of Disney movies?
Princess.
What is your favorite princess movie?
Cinderella.
Do you think that in Cinderella there are any subliminal messages of sexism?
Yeah, because the mother is gone, the stepmother is extremely mean. The prince is perfect. He's shown as a perfect specimen, male specimen, and a lot of the stepsisters are homely and odd, and Cinderella herself is pretty perfect. So yeah.
Do you think that there are any other examples of sexism in Disney movies, especially in the early stages?
Yeah, I think that a lot of the Disney movies early ones are very similar in theme with Cinderella. Same thing, there's either a stepmother or a wicked witch, and the females are kind of portrayed as being evil. A lot of times the mother figures are either dead or not nice, and there's always a prince that comes and sweeps the princess off her feet.
Thank you. Are you a fan of Disney movies?
Yes and no.
What's your favorite Disney movie?
The Lion King.
Alright, and do you think that Disney movies portray women as inferior to men or weak?
Not in The Lion King.
Not in The Lion King. Alright, thank you.
Disney.
Yeah.
Do you think Disney is racist?
Yeah.
How?
Just is.
How is it?
Well, see, in Fantasia, the dark-skinned centaurs were served instead of light-skinned centaurs. Therefore, it's racist.
Have you ever seen The Lion King? Yes. Do you think when Disney separated the hyenas from the lions and gave them a different accent, that was a show of racism?
No, it was showing two different cultures.
By interviewing a wide range of people, I've come to realize how oblivious society is to reoccurring themes of sexism and racism in Disney movies, specifically the early ones. People aren't aware of these subliminal sexist acts and racist acts in Disney movies. Sexism is an issue that is being solved in recent movies such as Frozen, where the women are being portrayed as more strong and independent. But then there are movies from previous times such as The Little Mermaid, where the plot is about a girl who disobeys her family and sells her soul to evil for a man. And racism is an even more prominent discussion topic in movies such as Dumbo, where a crow named Jim takes on the role of a stereotypical black man and features racist songs. A functionalist would view sexism and racism in Disney movies as a part of the fluency of these movies and the culture which they were in. At the time, these issues were overlooked in the movies because they were also overlooked in society. It was just normal at that time to have racist and sexist issues in the movies because that's what coincided with what was happening in everyday life. It may have been crucial to add these in the movies so that their target audience would be more pleased with the outcome, and at the same time the other people who may have been repelled by the sexist and racist issues would not be harmed because they would not see it in something. A conflict perspective would view these issues as detrimental to society. It would also be seen as a conflict between races and genders, and for the power of white men over these races or women. White men are struggling to secretly influence the minds of viewers by adding racism and sexism that isn't blatantly obvious. It could also be a conflict with those who have realized the message. The minorities who have addressed the issues are looking for justification and power. However, there isn't much wrong with the movies because it was normal at that time for those acts to be there, because it was normal in everyday life. I think Disney was only portraying the world we lived in, as sexist and racist as it may have been. Symbolically, these moments of racism and sexism in Disney movies represented the time we lived in when the movies were made. They are a symbol for how certain races and genders were viewed and described at the time. It is a symbol for the problem our country had with inequality, and the progression of the dulling of these messages symbolizes how our society has also addressed and resolved the problem. Disney movies have always been a symbol for the world we live in, and frankly, the world we lived in when the racist and sexist movies were not coincidentally filled with racism and sexism. The media influences people every day, whether they know it or not. It is influential simply because it is adored and used by so many people. All forms of media, including film, have an impact on people's ideas, thoughts, and beliefs. So it is no wonder why people are impacted so greatly by movies. Disney movies have always been a fan favorite amongst everyone for a long time. The messages in these movies are transferred from the movie toward the people's beliefs. The main ones are usually obvious, while sexist and racist messages are unintentionally taken in and interpreted by the viewer. People spend hours indulged in media, so it is no wonder why it leaves such a huge impact and impression on society today.